Hey everyone, welcome. This is Allie Katz, and I am here for Wisdom Wednesday. Happy to see you here. I am broadcasting on several channels right now. So when you come in, go ahead and let me know where you are seeing me live so that I know if you are in the Eyes Wide Open Tribe group or if you are on one of my personal profiles or on the Alexis Neely fan page. And that way I know where you are seeing this. And I would love to make tonight, Wisdom Wednesday, an interactive conversation as much as we possibly can in this format where I'm speaking to you and you're using the comments. So if you want me to know who you are, you can either sign into StreamYard, in which case it will tell me who you are, or when you say hello, just tell me who you are in the comments, because otherwise it just tells me that you're a Facebook user. Kendall, great to see you. So good to see you. Alfonso, awesome. You're calling in from Morocco. That's amazing. So good to see you all here tonight. And yeah, good. Many of you are here with us from the Eyes Wide Open Tribe group. So if you are not in the Eyes Wide Open Tribe group and you want to join us in a private group where we talk about topics like this, how to make great eyes wide open legal, insurance, financial, and tax decisions to take your life and income to the next level, I want to invite you to join the Eyes Wide Open Tribe group. And the best way for you to do that, actually, I'm going to put it up on the screen now, is to go to eyeswideopenlife.com and get access to our free 7-day We Create the Economy intensive. And then that will get you access into the group. So I want to encourage you to go ahead and do that if you haven't done that yet. Now, tonight's Wisdom Wednesday is all about how to hire the right accountant. How to hire the right accountant. And that's what we're going to be talking about, because I see a lot of you who will post in groups that I'm in or on Facebook. You're ready to take your life and income to the next level. You realize that you need accounting support, especially with the tax filings that just came up here in the US. Many of you were not prepared, even though there was an extension. Some of you were not able to get the PPP. You were not able to get EIDL. Maybe in your own country, you're not prepared for your tax planning. And then all of a sudden you're scrambling and realizing, oh my God, I need an accountant. And you're posting asking for guidance on how to find the right accountant. And I can tell from the way that you are asking that you're not going to hire the right person. And how do I know that? Because I've made all those mistakes myself. For my first several years in business, even though I figured out how to make money, so I was able to earn a lot of money in my business, I never figured out how to care for that money. And as a result, I ended up collapsing under the weight of my success. And so if you are trying to learn how to make money, but you're not also learning how to take care of that money, then what's going to happen is there's either going to be a limit on the amount of money that you make, because your subconscious is going to not let you make any more money, knowing that you don't really know how to take care of it. Or you're going to make lots of money and then not know how to take care of it and collapse under the weight of it, which is what happened to me. And it's a really painful process. And it doesn't have to be that way when you know how to make eyes wide open decisions. And so I'm here to support you to make eyes wide open decisions so you can shortcut your process. As you can imagine, as you know right now, we don't have time for y'all to take the 10 years it took me to learn, right? Oh, the volume went down. Okay, thanks, Lindsay. I appreciate that. It might be that my mic is actually coming through. I'm learning how to use these new AirPods that I got. So I thought that we were through my Yeti right here, but it looks like we're broadcasting through my AirPod. Let's see what happens if we try to change to my Yeti mic. You know what? I'm not going to do it here on the fly. I'm just going to keep these guys in. Sounds like you guys can hear me just fine with those in. Thank you, Lindsay. Thank you. Yeah, good. AirPods. I'm not so sure how I feel about them. How many of you have AirPods? I have mixed feelings, but part of me really likes them. I like the Freedom better than my my pink wired ones that I've been using. All right. So, how many of you here, and there's a lot of you here tonight. I'm so glad that you're showing up for this. I'm so glad that you're ready to make great decisions that allow you to take care of the resources that you have, because now more than ever, we need you in a position where when the shit hits the fan, you're going to be prepared. You are going to know exactly what you have, where it is, how to get access to it, how to keep it safe, and you are going to have the right advisors on your team. Right? So that's really the most important thing that we can all do right now. We don't know what the heck is going on out there in the world. There's many things flying around that, you know, at least if you're me, you have no idea really what's going on in the big picture. But what you can do is you can focus on what is within your control. And what is within your control is your care for your resources. Okay, it's your care for your resources. All right, so given that, how many of you right now have an amazing accounting team? An amazing accounting team, right? Because I see many of you out there, you're looking for an accountant. You're looking for an accountant. Well, oftentimes, what I believe you are really looking for is a bookkeeper. Maybe you're looking for a financial advisor. Maybe you're looking for a tax advisor. Oh, I just saw that somebody gave me a little thumbs up, like. How about if y'all do that right now? Give me some thumbs ups, maybe some hearts. Maybe you can even give me the little care symbol. Mary, you are an accountant. Great. So some of you here are accountants. So that is the first step to you getting really clear on being able to find the right advisors for you, is really knowing what you're looking for. When I first started out in business, I had no idea what the difference is between a bookkeeper and a tax advisor, a financial advisor, right? And so as a result of that, I couldn't hire the right people. If I did bring on a bookkeeper, I didn't even know what they were supposed to be doing or how they were supposed to be doing it. When I hired my first CPA, I had my own law practice. I knew I was building my law practice to be $1 million a year law practice. I went to my CPA. I said, Carrie, I know that I'm supposed to be seeing certain reports here. But what are they? And she said back to me, well, Alexis, it depends what you want to know. But I didn't know what I wanted to know. I had no idea what I wanted to know. I had never run a business before. I was learning how to make money, but I didn't know how to ask for the right reports. And my accountant, who was really my CPA, who was really my tax advisor and my tax filer, she didn't know how to tell me, how to advise me, how to consult me, and support me from an educational standpoint to know what I was supposed to be looking at, because she said, well, it depends what you want to know. But I didn't know what I wanted to know. So if that's you right now and you don't know what you need to know when it comes to looking at the right reports so that you can make good decisions for your life and for your income, give me a little thumbs up. Give me a like or love, whichever one of these broadcasts that you're in. I guess if you're here on YouTube, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. We've never really broadcast this way through YouTube. Okay, so is that you? You don't know what you should be looking at. Okay, so let's break it down. Okay, so your accountant, your CPA, or if you're in another country, your tax filer, the person who's helping you to file your taxes, is not going to be the person who is keeping your books. Those are two totally different people. So the person keeping your books is called a bookkeeper. And you absolutely, without question, should have a bookkeeper if you are in business for yourself. If you're in business for yourself, you should have a bookkeeper. If you are a freelancer and you have just 1 or 2 clients, maybe you could do your bookkeeping on your own. But if you have a a practice with multiple clients, or a business where you've got independent contractors or team members, and it's certainly if you have a company, then you want to have a really good bookkeeper. So what does this bookkeeper do? And how does that bookkeeper interact with your accountant? And what does your accountant do? Okay, so if you have a great bookkeeper, then what your bookkeeper is going to do is reconcile your books every single month. Okay, your books must be reconciled on a monthly basis. Now, many of you are waiting until the end of the year or until it's time to file taxes to reconcile your books. And then you're scrambling to get together all of your receipts and you're trying to figure out if you could save money on your taxes. And you're freaking out. And you should be freaking out at that point, because the truth is if you're waiting until that point to get your books in order, you're going to be overspending on your taxes. There's just no way that you can properly strategize your taxes if you're trying to get all of your bookkeeping done in one big chunk. Okay? So instead, what is the answer here? What is the eyes wide open way of doing this? The eyes wide open way of doing this is that you are going to have a bookkeeper, a great bookkeeper that you work with on a monthly basis. And that bookkeeper is going to have access to all of your credit card statements, and is going to have access to all of your credit cards online, and is going to have access to all of your bank accounts, and is going to reconcile everything monthly. And at bare minimum, you are going to meet with your bookkeeper once a month. Ideally, you and your bookkeeper are going to get on the phone or on a Zoom, ideally, where you could see screen together, right? This doesn't have to be somebody in person. It doesn't have to be somebody who lives in your town. You're going to get on a Zoom together and you're going to go over your books. And you're going to do this within ideally 10 days after the end of the prior month. So for example, today is August 12th. I had my meeting, my financial meeting today with my bookkeeping team and our CFO. So I have a company, so I have a CFO as well. We'll talk about the role of the CFO as well. And today, it's August 12th. We had our meeting today to review the July books. Okay, so what did we do in that meeting today? Well, I'm going to tell you what we did. And then if you actually want to see what it looks like to have one of these meetings, I share the behind the scenes of those sorts of things in the Eyes Wide Open membership, So if you have any interest in going behind the scenes in my businesses to see how we actually do it, you might want to get on the waiting list for the next time that we open our membership. I'm going to show you where you can do that. This is where you can get on the waiting list to join a very affordable membership that will take you behind the scenes of all of these processes, that will teach you by showing you exactly how I do it. So today we get on the call, and what we were doing is looking at our profit and loss statement to make sure that every expense and every income item that came in July and that went out in July was properly categorized. Okay, why is that critical? Because I promise you, if we waited until December, or most likely February or March in some of your cases to do that, I am not going to remember. And as a result, we are not going to make the very best use of our deductible expenses. And one of the biggest ways that you save money on your taxes is by deducting your expenses properly, right? You're taxed on all income from every source. But then you can deduct your expenses when you're filing your taxes in the right way, And many of you wonder, is my CPA really creative enough? Is my CPA really helping me to get all the deductions that I can? Is my accountant really helping me take all the deductions? Is my accountant creative? It's not up to your accountant to be creative. Okay. In fact, your accountant shouldn't be creative. Your accountant is supposed to be risk averse. Okay. It is you and your bookkeeper. That are going to be creative. And that when you are going to be creative is on those monthly bookkeeping calls. And that's going to relate to how you categorize your expenses, as well as how your business entity is set up. Is your business entity set up to maximize your tax savings? Now, that is a decision that can be made with your accountant, but it's really a decision that should be made by you with legal guidance as well. Okay. And so I see that some of you are asking, I've seen bookkeepers have different levels of service at different prices. It's true. You need to know when you are going to look for a bookkeeper that you're not just going to look for a bookkeeper based on price. You're going to look for a bookkeeper based on the services that you need, telling them exactly what it is that you need and want, and then ask them what they're going to charge you for that. And ideally, it's not going to be on an hourly basis. It's going to be on a monthly basis because they're going to be doing the same things each and every month. And if they've got a great bookkeeping business, they should know what they're going to charge on a monthly basis for those services. Now, if you want specific recommendations, if you want us to look at your business, if you want our help to help you make the right choices of the right bookkeeper to choose, what you should be paying, how to find the right bookkeeper, that all happens in Eyes Wide Open, the membership. So if you want to get on the wait list for that for when we open again, go to eyeswideopenlife.com, the membership, and get on the wait list for that. If you want some specific guidance before we open again, you can come into Eyes Wide Open Tribe, and you do that by going, oh, where did it go? To eyeswideopenlife.com. Okay, eyeswideopenlife.com. You'll be able to get into our free tribe group, and you can ask some of these questions there where we can engage in some of these decisions with you. Now, if you are your own bookkeeper, you could be costing yourself a lot of money. If you're your own bookkeeper, you're probably doing that to save money, right? You're probably doing that to save money, but it's actually probably costing you money to be your own bookkeeper or to have the wrong bookkeeper. So why would it cost you money to have the wrong bookkeeper or to be your own bookkeeper? Well, I can almost guarantee you that if you are in business for yourself, the time that it is taking you to do your bookkeeping, number one, should be used to grow your business. You can make more money by serving your clients or selling your products or building your business than you can by doing your own bookkeeping. So that is one of the very first things you must stop. You've got to stop doing your own bookkeeping, period, end of story. It is a waste of your time, energy, attention, and money. And here at Eyes Wide Open, we want you making the best decisions with your time, energy, attention, and money. We call those your team resources. And if you think about it this way, money is infinite when you know how to use it wisely. It's a made-up construct. It's a made-up construct. Infinite when you know how to use it wisely. When you know how to earn it, you know how to access it, you know how to use it wisely. What is not infinite? What is non-renewable? Your time, energy, and attention. Non-renewable resources. So if you are taking time, energy, and attention to try to figure out your bookkeeping or do your own bookkeeping, instead of doing your service in the world, instead of building your business, instead of selling your products if you're selling products, well, guess what? It's costing you money. Now, the second thing that can cost you money is having the wrong bookkeeper. I had the wrong bookkeeper time and time again. The reason that I had the wrong bookkeeper is I didn't know how to hire the right bookkeeper. So I would just hire somebody who said, hey, I'm a bookkeeper. I could take care of your books for you. And then my books were not set up in the right way. My estimated payroll taxes did not get made. The reports I was getting did not let me predict the future. Instead, they were just a bunch of numbers that I didn't understand how to read. And so instead, you really need to just, at a bare minimum, understand what are the reports that you want to be asking for. The reports that we ask for, that we would love to teach you how to read so that you could be literate, financially literate, and literally read your numbers and have them operate as a crystal ball to be able to predict the future. Ultimately, I learned how to do that. Had to go through bankruptcy before I learned that one. But as a result of doing that, my company today, we got notice that new law business model, my company has made the Inc. 5000 3 years in a row. Third year, they had 154% growth this year. There's no way I would have been able to have that kind of growth in my businesses if I didn't know how to read my numbers. Now, I promise you, there was a time I had no idea how to read my numbers. It was terrifying to be in business and not know how to read my numbers and not know what reports I was supposed to be looking at, or to get reports and think, oh my God, what does this even say? I see a lot of numbers here. And so I just constantly reverted to just making my decisions about how I was using my resources based on looking in my bank account. And if I had money in the bank, I spent it, I invested it. And if I didn't, then I freaked out and tried to figure out how I could make more money. This is no way to build a life or income. It is incredibly stressful. You're going to make decisions based on scarcity, fear, not enoughness. And instead, what you want to do is learn how to read your numbers. Now, it took me going through bankruptcy to learn how to read my numbers. And you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. You can instead wash away those past mistakes and build from right wherever you are right now and make good decisions, eyes wide open decisions. Okay. So if you want that, if you want my support, having learned the full spectrum, not knowing how to do it, making my decisions, what we call eyes wide shut, right? Your eyes might even look open, but they've like got a film, a film over them that has them actually be shut. Then you want to come and learn from us. You want to come and learn from us at Eyes Wide Open. In fact, coming up in September, we're going to be taking our full membership through our Lift Accelerator. We're going to go through every step of legal, insurance, financial, and tax decisions. I created a program after my bankruptcy, after I learned these lessons the hard way, called the Lift Foundation System. And I sold that program for $4,000, but I decided to put it in my membership and make it incredibly affordable for you, because I want everybody to be able to have access to this information. I want everybody to be able to have access to this information. So get on the waiting list for the membership. So your bookkeeper, at the bare minimum, is doing your profit and loss statement, reconciling your books, reviewing your profit and loss statement with you on a monthly basis. And the two of you together are categorizing your expenses to make the most of your deductions. Now, that does require you to know what can you deduct, how can you get creative to maximize your deductions. Okay, so we can help you to do that. Now, next level would be that your bookkeeper is also updating your cash flow forecast. So one of the things that I realized that I needed was that for every company I have, I need every Monday to get a report that says exactly how much I have in the bank, exactly how much is going out, exactly how much is coming in, expected to come in, what accounts receivable there are, what my debt is, if I have debt in a specific business, and that allows me to see on a daily basis over a 90-day period going forward into the future exactly what's going to go out and exactly what's going to come in, so that I can manage my cash flow. Managing cash flow is the lifeblood of your life and income. When you know how to manage your cash flow, you're going to free up so much of your creative energy that right now is probably spending a lot of time freaking out. And when you're freaking out about money because you don't have a good way to just look at your money very strategically, and instead you're obsessing about money, it's like constantly running here in the background. Am I going to have enough money? How am I going to make enough money? Am I going to make enough money? How am I going to make enough money? That is a tremendous amount of your creative and strategic energy that is being absorbed. And you cannot help but make decisions from a place of scarcity and fear when that's the case. So, because I was passed on through my system a lot of scarcity and fear programming, I had to find a way to turn that around, I had to find a way to turn that around. I couldn't just have a mindset of positive thinking or a mindset of success, even though I knew I needed to be able to have a mindset of positive thinking and a mindset of success. What was the practical real life way that I would be able to do that? Cash flow forecasting is the answer. Now, I was not able to use other people's cash flow forecasting systems. They were too complicated for me and too confusing for me. I had to create my own, and I would love to share that with you. We share it with you in the membership, as well as, nope, it's in the membership. It's not in the Eyes Wide Open Tribe group. And every week, this cash flow forecast gets updated so that I know on Mondays, I block time on my calendar to look at my cash situation in my businesses and to make strategic decisions then. That way, I can spend the rest of the week executing on my decisions. And then when my mind goes into that place of, oh my God, am I going to have enough money? Oh my God, am I going to have enough money? I can come back to, yes, I am. I just need to execute on the decisions that I made when I was in my strategic creative time on Monday. I don't have to be stressing out. I don't have to be obsessing or wondering or soaking up all that great creative energy and putting it into something that is completely not productive. Okay. So ideally, you've got a system like that set up, or you are willing to get a system like that set up, and you train your bookkeeper to use it, because a lot of bookkeepers don't know how to set something like this up. In fact, I trained my bookkeeping team to do that. And then ultimately, I trained my CFO to do that. And that is something that we now do for people that we're working with, is we will set that system up, and then we train people's bookkeepers to use that system. How do you predict future sales is one comment that's coming in through one of the channels. So you predict future sales differently than you think. You predict future sales differently than you think. Many of you are predicting future sales based on what you think you can make. That's not how I predict future sales. I predict future sales based on what is needed. When you predict future sales based on what is needed and then you commit to achieving those goals, guess what your chances are of achieving those goals compared to when you try to predict future sales based on what you think you can do? It turns the whole thing on its head. Turns the whole thing on its head. And so you're right. When I didn't know how to predict my future sales using the Eyes Wide Open decision-making framework, I was predicting my future sales based on things I had no idea. I don't know. Am I going to be able to do this? How am I going to predict these future sales? But then I realized through my money map process, again, I only learned this post-bankruptcy. Oh, I'm going to predict my sales based on what is needed. And then I'm going to create the systems that I need to create to hit those future sales. That's how you build a business. That's how you build a business. Nobody teaches us that, though, right? Nobody teaches us that, though. I would love to teach you that. I would love to teach you how to be able to predict your future sales based on what you need, and then build the systems that you need to be able to hit your goals. And if you are committed to doing that, you will be able to turn around anywhere, any place that you're in now. Any place that you're in now, you will be able to turn it around. I have turned around the craziest situations, the worst situations that I've been in. And in business, you're always going to hit that place where you get into that place and you're like, oh my God, we're going to run out of money. I mean, unless you are, like have immense resources behind you, you're likely going to get to that place. And you need to learn how to meet that moment. You need to learn how to meet that moment and see that moment as your greatest opportunity, your greatest gift to be shown your next step. Okay. Okay. So that's your bookkeeper. And when you've got clarity on your numbers, you are able to use your numbers and your decision making around your time, energy, attention, and money to be able to predict your sales. Now, before you can predict your sales, you have to have a clear service that you're offering. You have to know who you're offering that service to, and you have to have that service packaged in a way that you have something clear to sell, right? That you have something clear to sell. And so that might be your first step. Your first step might be that you need to create a revenue model. So you don't need a bookkeeper until you have a revenue model. Once you have a revenue model, you need a bookkeeper. Once you have a bookkeeper, then it is time for an accountant. Your accountant should be the person who is filing your taxes. Your accountant should be the person filing your taxes, okay? That can be an enrolled agent. That could be a CPA. That's the person that's going to file your taxes. And for the most part, that person is not doing your books. They would be too expensive to be doing your books. Now, they might have a bookkeeper in their office. That could be good, as long as that bookkeeper can do your books on a monthly basis. Now, your accountant is somebody that you ideally are meeting with twice a year minimum to strategize your taxes. So where are we now? We're mid-August. So that means you want your bookkeeping in a place by the end of September so that you can have a very strategic meeting with your accountant that is specifically focused on what do you need to do before the end of the year to minimize the taxes you're going to pay next April for those of us here in the US, okay? But you don't need to be meeting with your accountant every month. That would be very expensive. That would be very expensive. Okay, so that's the difference between your bookkeeper and your accountant. Now, how you hire an accountant is going to be completely dependent on what state you're in. And if you've got your books set up in the right way, it doesn't even really matter. Your accountant, your tax advisor, your tax filer can be somebody that you meet with at the end of September, mid-October, to look at how to strategize and save money on your taxes. And then you just send that person your books, all organized, all ready to go in February. And they file your taxes, and that's it. Super simple, super easy. Now, sometimes your accountant is going to recommend that you might want to set up some entities. You might be operating as an LLC and taxed as a sole proprietor, and you're going to overpay on your taxes if you've broken the $75,000 mark. If you're into six figures, you're going to way overpay on your taxes if you're not properly incorporated here in the US. And so your accountant might say you need to get a business entity set up. Your accountant might say you need to set up a retirement account. Should your accountant be setting those up for you? No, absolutely not. No, you should be working with a lawyer, ideally a lawyer who operates as a trusted advisor, like I do with my clients, like our family business lawyers do with their clients, who is going to, first of all, make sure that you're setting up the right kind of entity, and then is going to make sure that that entity is operating properly over time and is going to be helping you to make good decisions every step of the way. If you have the right legal advisor, a legal advisor who's got a holistic view of your business, you can actually be meeting with your legal advisor every month or at least every quarter, and your legal advisor can keep you on track and can make sure that everything is coordinated between your tax advisor, between your bookkeeper, between your financial advisor, and is really helping you make great decisions to minimize your risk in business. Now, if you're a freelancer, you probably don't need that level of support. But if you are building a business with independent contractors or team members or a business that's going to be making a lot of money, well, you've got some really important asset protection considerations to be looking at. And you've got some important intellectual property considerations to be looking at. You've got some important contract considerations to be looking at. And for the most part, most of us are doing that with eyes wide shut. Eyes wide shut. So I'm going to be back for a future Wisdom Wednesday on how to find and work with the right lawyer. But before I go today, I'd love to see if any of you have any additional questions. So you can type that right in the comments. If you want me to know your name, then you do need to sign into StreamYard or type your name in the comments so that I'll know your name. And if you would also let me know, where are you watching this? I'm broadcasting right now to my page, Alexis Katz, Allie Katz, Alexis Neely. got a few different names, but I'm full on always alley cats going forward. And also here in the Eyes Wide Open tribe, If you want to join us in the Eyes Wide Open tribe and get access to these Wisdom Wednesdays every single week, you can do that right here on Facebook. Or if you want to also get access to our We Create the Economy 7-day intensive for free and be able to enroll in our Enough course just for $33, you can go right here, eyeswideopenlife.com. Okay, so let me answer your questions and then we're going to sign off for today. But I will be back again in the future every Wednesday. Wisdom Wednesdays. So right now, I need to have a tax person who can advise for my dependents, college students, part-time earnings that jeopardizes our government health insurance. One consult call, tax person told me it's fine as long as they are in college. Tax guy I've used says they must file and seems conflicting answers from two tax people. Who can answer or who to listen to? So I want to invite you to come over into the tribe and ask that question. Okay, come on over into the tribe and let's help you identify how to find the right answer when you're getting conflicting information from two advisors. What do you do? Well, you need to be able to trust yourself to find the right answer. And so we can help you do that at Eyes Wide Open. And so come on over to eyeswideopenlife.com and let us help you learn the skills that you need to be able to answer this question and know which of these tax advisors to trust, because that often happens, right? That often happens. We get conflicting information from different advisors and then we don't know who to trust. We don't know which one is telling us the right thing. Now, it might be that it's a gray area. It might be that there is two options, that it could go either way. And then you need to make a decision on what to do, because here in the US, we have a voluntary tax system. And you have a lot of choices to make within that voluntary tax system. And those choices come with different risks and different opportunities and different benefits, right? And so a lot of these choices that you're going to be making, you can't leave to an advisor to make for you. You have to learn how to make these choices for yourself, take into account the perspectives, right questions, and then ultimately you determine based on the risks what to do. All right, let's see. Who to go to for personal affordable law questions? Well, it depends what you think of as affordable, right? So I've got some answers affordably. You can come into Eyes Wide Open, the membership, when we open enrollment again, and I might be able to support you to answer the questions that you need answered, to learn how to answer those questions. Okay. Somebody asked, how do you pay for services? How do you pay for services when you don't have a lot of money? How do you hire a bookkeeper? Let's see. How do I know who's best, least expensive person? Should they be local, virtual, recommendations? Your bookkeeper can absolutely be virtual, and you don't always want to hire the least expensive person. Right? You don't always want to hire the least expensive person, because that's not going to get you the results that you want. And so this is the follow-up question. How do you get these folks when you are still in startup and limited dollars? So it is critically important that you are using all of the resources that are available to you wisely. Many of you are not. In fact, I've identified 4 places of hidden resources that most of you are not accessing properly. And so you are making your decisions as you're building your life and income from a place of scarcity, false scarcity, because you don't know how to access the resources and use the resources that are available to you. So the starting place is for you to get eyes wide open on what is actually available to you. What are the sources of hidden resources that you're probably not tapping into right now, that you could be using, that you could be investing in your business, that you would invest in getting the right support if you really trusted yourself? So let's start there. Let's start with you getting clear on what you actually need, what you actually have to invest in building your life and income. Because I promise you, I did it for too long. Making your decisions from a place of false scarcity, we call it money dysmorphia, is going to result in the exact thing that you are afraid of, which is very likely you running out of money. Now, the good part of running out of money, I found, is that eventually you don't run out of money. You tap into the resources that were hidden from you that you weren't willing or able to tap into before you ran out of money. But you don't have to run out of money to get to those resources. You can choose to access them before you've run out of money, and then trust yourself to make good choices with them. Our cultural conditioning tells us you're not going to be able to make good choices with this money, so you should try to save as much as possible. You should try to scrimp as much as possible. You shouldn't access these hidden resources. And guess what? Then you stay stuck and you make bad decisions from a place of scarcity. When you go to eyeswideopenlife.com, the very first thing that you're going to see is the Enough course. Okay, you'll put your name and email in at eyeswideopenlife.com, and then after that, you'll see on the next page that you can enroll in the Enough course right now for just $33. That's just $33. Gets you monthly coaching for life with us, no additional charge. It gets you access to the Enough course so that you can see what you have and start to make better decisions with it. Start to build that self-trust. Okay. Raj, whether or not you will need to collect California sales tax when you are a Canadian corporation if you register in the state of California is going to depend on what you're selling in the state of California. Sounds like maybe you're selling products or services in the state of California. Without knowing more specifics about your business, I can't say more than that. But if you want to come into the Eyes Wide Open Tribe free group and tell us more specifics, I might be able to help you to find out the right answer. Is there a checklist that I suggest for hiring an accountant? Is there a definitely do not hire list for an accountant? So I have in my Lift Foundation System program, I have what I call conversation starters, the questions to ask before you hire any professional advisor, before you hire a lawyer, before you hire a bookkeeper, before you hire an accountant, before you work with an insurance professional, before you work with a financial advisor, before you work with a tax advisor. That's all in the Lift Foundation System and Toolkit. You can check out the whole Lift Foundation System and Toolkit. I'm going to show you where it is, but I'm going to tell you, do not buy this, where I'm going to just show you, but you can see what's included in it. I just posted that in all the comments. Okay. And tell me, by the way, if y'all can still hear me, because I just heard that little noise in my AirPods. Oh, it didn't let me do it. Hey, Mila, can you please post the link in all these different channels to eyeswideopenlife.com/lift. That's eyeswideopenlife.com/lift. So that's my Lift Foundation System. Don't buy it there though, because when you join us in membership, when we open our enrollment 6 days from now, it's included. It's included, and membership is super inexpensive, right? So yes, there is a checklist. There is a definitely do not hire list. There's specific questions that you're going to ask before you hire anybody, Okay, everybody, thank you so much for being here. I look forward to seeing you in the tribe. I hope you get started with the Enough course. I hope that when we open membership, the membership that you join us so that I can give you the support that you need to make these eyes wide open decisions when it comes to using your time, energy, attention, and money, your team resources with your eyes wide open, making legal, insurance, financial, and tax decisions from a place of pure structural integrity, which is naturally going to change your mindset. It's naturally going to change your mindset. So if you know that you're living in a scarcity paradigm, if you know that you're making your decisions based on scarcity, fear, not enoughness, even though you probably do have access to enough, you just don't know how to use it wisely. Well, I'm committed and devoted to shifting that, changing that once and for all, for you to build the self-trust that you need to make the very best decisions, the wisest decisions, to be able to access the resources that are available to you right now, remembering that money is infinite when you know how to use it wisely. It's time, energy, and attention that are not infinite. Every day that passes, all our time, energy, and attention is non-renewable, and yours is so valuable. And so, great, Susan, I'm so excited. You're going to be joining us in the Enough course and membership, and I'm so glad you're going to be taking these next steps with us. That's very exciting. Thank you. Thank you for saying yes, because I can say that after having gone through all the experiences I did of building million-dollar businesses and then watching it all crumble under the weight of not knowing how to manage the resources, and then rebuilding on a foundation of structural integrity with the right legal, insurance, financial, and tax systems, and then making the Inc. 5000 list 3 years in a row, which I never would have been able to do. 3 years in a row, which I never would have been able to do had I not learned the things that I'm teaching you now. What I can say is that it was all worth it. It was all worth it because I needed somebody like me who would be able to help me make these decisions with my eyes wide open. And so it's my absolute honor to be doing this now here. Okay, I don't know. I might have just gotten kicked out, but maybe I'm back in now. So I just want to close and tell you all, thank you so, so much. It is such a pleasure to be here with you. And thank you for those of you who chatted with me here. And please do go to eyeswideopenlife.com and get registered. And yes, Mary, it is right. What you've been telling your clients and prospects, you can't make tax and legacy decisions until you have all of your bookkeeping and tax data before year end. Thank you all so much. I'm going to be back next week with Wisdom Wednesday. Again, we'll talk about how to choose the right lawyer and when you even need a lawyer so that you don't end up in court and conflict unexpectedly. Or how to know if you're working with a lawyer who's going to stick you in court and conflict, because sometimes we see that happen as well. Thanks so much, everybody. This is Allie Katz here inviting you to keep your eyes wide open. See you next time. Bye-bye for now.